Hey, welcome into the Snap. Your boys, Mac and Lando, here to get you right for week 10 of the fantasy football season. Lando, what's going on?
Mac, I'm doing well. We obviously got some big news about Robert Woods tearing his ACL, and now I think a lot of questions are going to be about Odell Beckham this week. Either way, I'm excited to get everyone. We see that Chris, Tim, and Snap Army member is in the chat. Fundarius, Snap Army member, is in the chat. If y'all want to join our Snap Army and win a jersey, do a live stream every month with us. Join the Snap Army. It's only $5 a month. We would appreciate that.
Absolutely. We appreciate you guys being here. So if you can't afford a little membership, a like goes a long way. Let's get to the outs. Now, some really big outs added to the list. If you caught the podcast yesterday, you're aware, but Alvin Kamara has been ruled out this week. Unfortunately, Mark Ingram slots into a really nice role here, big workload. Actually, last week when they were both active, Mark Ingram was more productive in the passing game than Alvin Kamara, which is crazy, but Mark Ingram stepping back into an old role, feeling very comfy, should get a lot of work. Ben Roethlisberger and Kyler Murray, we expect not to play. Now, Big Ben is ruled out. Kyler Murray is a last-minute game-time decision. They will test him out. Landon and I do not believe that Kyler Murray will play this game. We do believe it's going to be Colt McCoy.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting. We're still going on outs, Mac?
We're still on outs. Yeah, we've got Nick Chubb, Damian Harris, Chris Carson, Chase Edmonds, Robert Woods, like Landon said, tore his ACL in practice on Friday. He is out for the remainder of the season, so them picking up Odell Beckham Jr. could not have come at a better time. A small boost to Van Jefferson, who now becomes attractive in 10 to 12 team leagues. Antonio Brown and Rob Gronkowski will not suit up this week for the Buccaneers. All eyes on Tyler Johnson to absorb that tertiary receiving role.
Yeah, so I guess the biggest decisions that we need to make today are going to be about Mark Ingram, Dearness Johnson, Ramondre Stevenson. Those guys are,
really nice DFS plays there.
Absolutely, some low price guys. James Conner is an auto start. You're going to start him. We saw him what he could do last week. That's there's no question there. But yeah, the other ones are going to be a little bit murky. So those are going to be the really difficult decisions this week. The risk level, the replacement value, running backs, and what to do with them. So they're going to be likely flex fringe plays for us, but if you're desperate, hey, at least you got guys that are on the field.
100%. April Hostetler coming into the chat saying, is Chris Godwin out? We're going to the expected to play screen here. He is expected to play this week. Chris Godwin is a go as of right now. Aaron Rodgers and Russell Wilson will be back to action. Russell Wilson coming off of IR. Aaron Rodgers coming off of the COVID protocol. Christian McCaffrey and James Robinson both going to play, as well as Zach Moss at the running back position. Keenan Allen is all good to go this week. Michael Gallup making his return from the IR, and Dawson Knox making his return for the Buffalo Bills in a really, really good matchup.
So out of that list, Mac, Zach Moss is someone I'm not comfortable playing.
Me neither.
And then I'm not sure what to do with Chris Godwin. Well, I do believe he's going to be limited today. What's your confidence level in Godwin? Are you going to play him because he's a stud, or are you going to temper expectations?
Well, I put Chris Godwin on this thumbnail for a reason, because I figured we were going to get tons of questions about his status and what the expectations are. I expect a full workload from Chris Godwin. They just don't have many options here, and Godwin's going to have to be a focal point of the offense. It's back to traditional Bucs offense with Godwin and Evans, no other pieces to help out.
Another game time decision is going to be Deandre Hopkins, and I'm not in on Deandre Hopkins this week. We saw him limited last week, pulled up with a hamstring. I'm going to sit Deandre wherever it's possible. I'm going to expect him to be out today, but it's still going to be a game time decision for Hopkins.
Right. What's going on to our Snap Army members? Thundarius, Austin, Chris, how are we doing today? As well as everybody else here, we are going to get to your questions. We're going to start with our members here. They are in the green in the chat. Thundarius, thanks for being awesome, guys. My only real question this week, Judy versus a weak Philly secondary or Elijah Mitchell against the Rams. Also, still unsure about Russ coming back versus Wentz. Very, very interesting. Do you want to start with the Russ versus Carson Wentz? Let's go there first to the quarterback.
Yeah, so he showed us this this lineup on our private Discord server, another perk of being a member, and the only consideration I had was starting Russ over Wentz. I expect Wentz to be back and healthy. Yep. It should be a competitive game in Lambeau. We checked the weather. There are some gusts up in Lambeau, but the stadium is so high that I don't expect that to really affect him. It's going to be cold there. It's going to be the coldest stadium in the NFL this week. They do have some snow, but I don't think Russ is going to be limited that bad. I think if Russ plays, I think you start him. I know Wentz has been good. He has a safer floor, I would say, with just the good matchup against Jacksonville, and he has been good for fantasy. But I think Russ is one of those studs that I think you just have to play. He could throw for 4 touchdowns.
They're back-to-back in rankings, so it's really a coin flip. If you want to get away from the snow game, go Carson Wentz. Got a good matchup against the Jags, but that one's tough. What about Judy versus Eli Mitchell? Where do you follow for that flex play?
The floor lands with Eli Mitchell. Agreed. I think he's got a good opportunity this week. We talked about him on our podcast. I do like Judy as well against Philly. So I think Judy has a decent ceiling. We haven't seen him get in the end zone yet. So I think I just lean with Eli.
Yep, I think I am. I just don't have the confidence in Teddy Bridgewater. That's what it really comes down to for me. It's so hard. Let's see. Anybody else? Austin? No. Austin. Need one standard. Emmanuel Sanders, T.Y. Hilton, or Alex Collins. Thanks, boys. Wow.
Yeah, I think that's really tough.
But the Bills have a great matchup. They do have Dawson Knox coming back. T.Y. Hilton's in a good matchup as well. And Green Bay is a pretty good matchup on the ground, to be honest. I mean, I think they're all very, very close in terms of floor even as well. Who has the biggest game out of Sanders, Hilton, Collins? We haven't really seen much from Sanders lately.
So Hilton is the sit for me. It's a half-point PPR league, which makes it closer. For his full PPR, I would lean Sanders. I think Collins is going to be just fine against Green Bay, but for the ceiling play, I think I lean Emmanuel Sanders in a potential 2-touchdown game where I don't know if I see that for Alex Collins.
Fair enough.
Alex Collins projects, I think, for about 12 to 14 half PPR points because he's a running back. But I think Sanders could have that 20-point game.
Right. Beardy Does Covers, thank you for the subscription. Let's go through, and we've got a ton of questions here, Lando. Let's go through and double time some of these to start. Eric Zubert coming in nice and early. Start set question. I am slated to win my matchup. It's a full PPR league. I need one running back. Gordon, McKissick, Jeff Wilson, or Kenyon Drake. For me, that comes down to either Melvin Gordon or Kenyon Drake, and I would lean Melvin Gordon for the workload there. Second start set question, same context, same scoring. Pick one tight end, Ertz or Friarmuth. Both have backup quarterbacks throwing them the ball. The known commodity is Colt McCoy with Zach Ertz, and that's where I'm going to fall. I'm not going to chase the 2-touchdown game from Pat Friarmuth last week, so that's what I would do, Eric.
Yeah, Neon, he's asking about Deontay Johnson. I think this is a really great question because he is the clear number one target for Big Ben Roethlisberger, but he is out. So Deontay Johnson, his ceiling definitely goes down, but I still believe he's the number one target, and the offense is schemed for Deontay Johnson. Yeah. I'm still starting him. I don't think he's a locked and loaded start. I'm not playing him in DFS this week for that ceiling play, but I think he's still going to be the target getter. Pat Friarmuth is someone that I will put down my rankings as well. The offense just won't move as well. I know they play Detroit. It's an easy matchup. If anything, Pittsburgh is going to have an easy time, and I think that Najee Harris is going to have a monster workload. But I'm not as excited for Deontay. I think I'm still going to start him as a top 24 wide receiver.
Right. Yeah, fair enough. Seth Veek, pick one start in a half PPR league. Deontay Johnson, Dearness Johnson, DK Metcalf, or Josh Jacobs. Leaning towards Dearness because no Big Ben, and it's snowing in Green Bay. Oh boy. I mean, I would just play Metcalf, to be honest. I'm not afraid of the snow. Russell Wilson is an elite quarterback. He will find a way. He's never, it's not like he's never played in the snow before. I would go Metcalf. I don't blame you for wanting to go Dearness there. I don't think I have it in my heart to sit down Metcalf. I would go Metcalf, Deontay Johnson, Dearness Johnson, Josh Jacobs in that order.
Yep, I like that.
We're on a sleek. Half PPR, Ingram or Dearness Johnson. Where do you like there, Lando?
I think I like Dearness.
I think so too. Mark Ingram's nice, and I've got him in a couple DFS lineups. But yeah, Dearness Johnson does have a big workload ahead of him. I just don't know if I can roll him out over DK Metcalf. That's kind of where I'm at. Anthony V, half PPR, Corey Davis, Ayuk, or Judy. Corey Davis is expected to play today and probably comes into a decent target share. However, I'm going to take the upside on either Judy or Ayuk, and I believe Judy is ahead in our rankings. So Judy's probably the play there.
I'm leaning Judy as well. We had that big week from Ayuk, and that was great, but I still want to see the targets remain for Ayuk going forward. He's a sell in most formats. And Mac, actually, on a little sidebar, I know we have lots of questions, but Odell Beckham Jr., I feel like if you don't have him on the block after that news of Robert Woods, you're doing fantasy wrong. Am I crazy to think like if you can sell him for a premium value right now before he plays a snap for the Rams, you got to at least try it, or at least see what your league mates value him at, right?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. You have to test the waters and see what the value is. That's the thing. The narrative for him could not literally be better. Goes to a contending team with a really good offense. He's a big name, and they lose an integral piece like Robert Woods. It's almost like they knew this was going to happen. Not that you could script an injury, but the stars have aligned here for Odell Beckham Jr. to be very, very relevant for fantasy purposes. So
I saw a question on YouTube. DJ Moore for Odell Beckham. Take DJ Moore.
Absolutely.
Why not?
I would take DJ Moore because he's the one. He's the one with the biggest upside. He's the top 10 wide receiver. No questions asked.
He's done it this year. Like
Odell Beckham Jr. hasn't had a fantasy relevant season for 2.5, 3 seasons now.
Exactly. And sure, I agree he's going to be good in LA. I don't say that. But if you can get all-star or like premium value for him, like, hey, that's exactly what you should do.
Shout out to some of you coming in. Woody the Badger, thank you for the subscription. We've got Kyle, we've got Temmie, Jacob, Clock Guy, Les. We're getting to your questions. We're working our way down here. WB, McLaurin or Deontay Johnson, half PPR. Love the show. Got to keep tweeting so people know you are on. Good suggestion. Lando, you want to tweet that out while I do that? Tweet the link out. I would roll Terry McLaurin this week over Deontay Johnson. Not that I have huge issues with whoever's going to be starting. I believe it's Mason Rudolph, or if it happens to be Dwayne Haskins at some point, that's whatever, it's fine. The offense is built for Deontay, and those average depth of target throws that are 5 and 6 off the line of scrimmage, they're built for Deontay. So I'm okay with that, but I would go Terry McLaurin absolutely. And then Daniel asking Hunter Renfro or Deontay Harris. Hunter Renfro is actually quite high in a lot of expert rankings right now with the boost in volume after Henry Ruggs has departed and Bryan Edwards has been a ghost. So I'm happy to roll out Hunter Renfro there.
Yeah, so am I. I agree. Now Deontay Harris has been fine. He's sneaky good.
But he's a
lot of people might not even know his name.
He's a different play.
But he's a different play. He's not.
He's Deshaun
Jackson.
Kind of
like. I think he's better. But yeah. I mean, I don't mind Deontay, but I still lean Renfro.
Right.
Now Jeffrey is asking, with Kamara out, PPR start, 2 of these guys. One of them has to be an RB. He's got Singletary, Moss, Davis, Landry right now. I'm gambling on Singletary and Landry.
Okay.
So
it's a toss-up between Singletary and Moss, to be completely honest. You don't really know until the game script unfolds who's going to have the hot hand. Mike Davis is sort of off the table for me. I really do believe you can drop Mike Davis. He's losing his snap share to Cordero Patterson. The offense is just going through him. Landry is a nice play, so I would stick with Landry. I think you just go with your gut there, Jeff, and if you think Singletary is going to be the better back this week between him and Moss, you go Singletary.
Single dingle.
Single dingle.
I like that. I lean Moss slightly. It was concussion protocol,
Sure.
so if he's cleared it, he should be fine. I don't expect him to get another concussion. But yeah, again, if you go with your gut there, I don't mind the Landry single dingle play.
21 viewers in the stream right now. Really, really appreciate if you guys could hit that like button. We are getting to every single question currently with Rolando RG. Need to drop one to Deshaun Jackson or Brian Edwards. I would drop Deshaun Jackson, and I would roll with
Correct.
Brian Edwards.
Yep.
Good luck.
Austin, we got to your question earlier. Anthony V, what's going on, buddy? Nice to see you in. Choose 3. He's got Eckler, James Robinson, Gibson, Michael Carter, D'Ernest. I'm going Eckler, James Robinson, and D'Ernest over Carter.
That's my answer as well. Antonio Gibson is just buried, and I do not want to play him against the Bucks. Michael Carter is an attractive play, and he's been the 5th best running back over the last 3 weeks. We talked about that on the podcast. He's currently running back 20, silently having a really solid second half of the season, but I'm going to play D'Ernest Johnson. Michael Carter's playing the Bills today, and I don't want necessarily any piece of that on the other side of the ball. So no.
Yeah.
Jacob, what's going on?
Good morning, Jacob. Good to see you in again. Always a participant in the live streams.
Absolutely.
We appreciate you coming
Now
by.
here's where we test our Antonio Gibson strength, him or Ramondre Stevenson, with the news that Damian Harris is in fact out.
At that point, I think I just lean Gibson.
I'm the same thing.
Which is a little bit sad. J.J. Taylor could be involved a little bit. Ramondre is a very fine start if you're desperate.
Brandon Bolden
but
as well.
We know what the Patriots do. They pull the veil over our eyes one too many times. So it's one of those things. Just start Gibson. He's going to get the work, and hopefully he falls into the end zone.
I think so too. Pick 3 from Diggs, Pittman, CD, and Justin Jefferson. My goodness gracious.
What a team.
Oh boy. This is really tough. It sucks to say that you would want to sit down Michael Pittman. That's kind of where my gut goes. But Michael Pittman's been so solid, and they have a beautiful matchup this week.
CD has a great matchup. He was limited with an ankle.
Honestly, man.
I think he's healthy.
Honestly, man.
But
this is going to be really, really tough to say. I don't think I can get away from Michael Pittman, given the current track record, given the matchup. I'm going to go Pittman. I'm going to go Diggs in a really good matchup. And then I'm going to go CD Lamb. I'm going to sit down Justin Jefferson against the Chargers.
Oh.
Man, it's
All
crazy.
right.
It's crazy, but I think that's what I'm going to do.
Those are the hardest decisions, Brandon. They're all studs. We know, probability that one of them has a very average game.
Sure.
Now, in other leagues, that might be fine. You might be okay with that, but heck, it's also likely that they all go off for 20+ points. So
right.
What are you gonna do?
Yeah, there's really no losing, but I would sit down Justin Jefferson. I mean, that's a crazy thing to do. Kyle, I've given up on fantasy, but I just want to hop in and say hi, Paz. Appreciate you, buddy. A big shout out to our members as well. Kyle Paz, big part of the program. Temi, non-PPR, start Gibson or Drake, start DJ Moore or Justin Jefferson. I would. I don't know if I would go Kenyon Drake. Kenyon Drake has been serviceable, very solid,
very
over the last couple
efficient
weeks.
with what he's been
Correct.
doing on the field.
Correct.
He's like the James Conner before James Conner got the workload, just scoring touchdowns.
Yeah. To be honest, I'm going to go Kenyon Drake over Antonio Gibson right now. I know.
Yeah.
I know. It's crazy, but I'm going to. And then I'm going to play Justin Jefferson over DJ Moore this week, just with the news that PJ Walker is going to be starting.
Yeah, you start Jefferson over DJ Moore, Temi, but yeah, I think I just lean Gibson a little bit, and hopefully he falls into the end zone. But it's not great. It's not great at all. Yep. Kansas City is a great matchup. I don't mind if you listen to Mac whatsoever with that one.
And I want to preface this. You're gonna look, and if you do follow this advice, you're gonna sub in Kenyon Drake, and the projection that your platform is going to give you is going to be 4 or 5 points. Kenyon Drake has outperformed his projection by like 200 to 300% the last couple weeks. So projections really don't mean anything. He's more involved in the passing game. He's taking a bigger share of Josh Jacobs' workload. This is a new offensive scheme since John Gruden went down. So keep those things in mind. Kenyon Drake is very much so a part of this offense. So,
yeah, let us know if you're down or behind in a matchup. I think Gibson gives you a safer floor. He'll have more opportunities, but you're right. Mac is right. If you need the 2 touchdown game, Gibson just doesn't have that in him against Tampa Bay, I don't think.
Jacob, Patty Fryer, or Ricky Seals-Jones in a full PPR league this week?
It should have been Friarmuth by a mile. With Ben.
It's likely Seals-Jones without, though.
Yeah, because obviously we know that Logan Thomas is not playing, so Ricky Seals-Jones still has life for another week at least. Yep. It's a decent matchup. I don't mind Ricky Seals. Oh, it's against Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay is okay. It's fine. They give up to the pass. They give up to the tight end enough.
Dalton Schultz or Dallas Goddard this week, and then what are our thoughts rest of season for these two? I really like Dallas Goddard, but I cannot deny the strength of the offense and the production profile that Dalton Schultz has been producing. So I'm gonna go Dalton Schultz. Man, Dawson Knox is like ingrained in my brain right now. The hatred.
That's that is I don't mind Dalton Schultz. I can't even say.
I'm going Dalton.
Dallas Goddard, I think, is better rest of season. He'll get more. He's more of the focus of the Philadelphia offense. I think he.
So I was gonna initially go there, but
yeah,
I put way more stock into Dak Prescott being able to deliver volume to this offense, regardless of who it goes to. I have faith in him over Jalen Hurts.
Right.
So that's why I'm giving a slight edge to Schultz.
Yep.
That was my only thinking on that one.
I don't mind it too.
Seth Veek, Brady or Dak this week? I'm rolling out Tom Brady. When the number one quarterback on the year has a smash matchup against a really leaky Washington D, I'm taking it.
Yeah, Montez Sweat, I think, was put on IR, so the likelihood of pressure to Tom Brady is even less. Right. Speaking of Les Henderson, thanks for waiting around. Appreciate everyone. Let's get this video up to 40 likes. We're at 27 likes right now. Smash that like button. It means a ton to the show. But we get to every single question today. So hang tight. We will get to your questions and give you some reasoning behind why you should make that move.
Okay, Les, full PPR, who would be the best flex? Ramondre Stevenson, Jerry Judy, or Antonio Gibson? I would lean Jerry Judy first.
Yeah, Jerry Judy in a full PPR league, I think, is the way to go. Antonio Gibson's probably not going to catch that many passes. It should be a negative game script for Washington for most of the game, so we'll likely see quite a bit of McKissick. This injury from Antonio Gibson, I know we've been down on him a lot today. I think this is really hindering his production. If he has a big game, it's pretty much going against all odds. And this injury, the matchup, everything is going against Gibson right now. So I agree. Jerry Judy.
Woody the Badger, thank you for the subscription. Welcome to the channel. Start 2, Amari Cooper, Deontay Johnson, or Darrell Henderson in a full PPR. I'm going to sit down Deontay Johnson with the uncertainty at quarterback there and just roll out Amari Cooper, who has a stud matchup, and then Darrell Henderson, who's been one of the most reliable running backs for fantasy football the entire year. So that's where I roll.
Absolutely.
Love that.
And Savvy, what's going on? Sit 1, Deandre Johnson, Javonte, and Ingram. So I'm going to sit Mark Ingram.
Yes,
yeah.
Agreed. We got some more Snap Army members, then we'll come back to Gator Fan. Austin saying Moss or Collins. Moss or Collins this week. I'm going
to start Collins.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
And then Chris Timmons, Javonte Williams or DeAndre Swift in the flex in a full PPR league. Thanks, fellas. I know you're not the highest on DeAndre Swift. You love Javonte. So is this matchup for Javonte enough to lean over Swift, or where do you lie? Because you know my answer.
I'm starting both of these guys in my big league, so I hope they both have a good game.
However,
I'm just gonna check my rankings here. I do have DeAndre Swift as a top 12 guy, but barely.
Yep.
So I'm going Swift.
I would absolutely roll Swift out as well.
Yeah.
Full confidence in him. Absolutely. Okay, let's go back up to Gator Fan.
Yes, sir. Tyler Johnson, Chenault, Friarmuth, or Zacchaeus. Full PPR. Yes, I have to come down to this last.
Yes, it has come down this for my second flex.
Right.
Laviska Shenault has been underwhelming, unfortunately.
Terrible. He's been bad.
And you would expect better with, the opportunity there. But Trevor Lawrence hasn't been good either, and that's sort of part of the problem. However, I'm willing to stream Trevor Lawrence this week. I'm willing to roll him out. I do like this match. So I'm still going to go Tyler Johnson as the fringe play. Yeah. I understand the attraction with Zacchaeus after the big 2-touchdown game. I understand the same thing with Fryer, but you're chasing points. And I think Tyler Johnson has the best opportunity this week, given that no Antonio Brown, no Rob Gronkowski. We saw Tyler Johnson last year in the playoffs step up and fill a big role, in the Super Bowl run, and I think that he can do that this week as well.
If indeed Chris Godwin is limited, that just leans more to Tyler Johnson. Absolutely. So you Zacchaeus, I prefer Russell Gage out of that offense than Zacchaeus. Tyler Johnson, I don't mind it at all. My boy War, thanks for coming by, War. Appreciate you, my
Michael
dude.
Endres.
Says pick 3 to start.
Sorry. I was just going to say, Michael Endres, thank you for the subscription. See your question there. We are working our way through.
Pick 3 to start, RB, wide receiver, and flex. He's got Debo, Amari Cooper, Mike Williams, Odell Beckham, our first Odell question. He's picked up Dearness. He's got Javonte Williams, Michael Carter.
Damn.
Thanks, guys. Keep killing it. He's got a good lineup here.
Damn, bro.
That's a tough one to narrow down.
It really is. I think for me, Debo and Amari are auto starts, and it really comes down to who we would put out here as the third.
Right. So
Mike Williams is a tough one. He's been very hot to start the year, very cold as of late.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. So you could start Debo and Amari. So we have to start one running back out of Dearness Johnson, Javonte Williams, and Michael Carter, and I think we both lean Javonte Williams.
Ooh, I was gonna go Dearness Johnson.
Oh, all right. I think Dearness has more opportunities. We saw him absolute ball out last week. So
that's the thing, right?
I think
Dearness Johnson against the Patriots, he's going to have a huge workload. Huge workload. And while I like Javonte Williams a lot, and they have a good matchup against the Eagles, him and Melvin Gordon are likely still going to split carries.
He needs to be efficient. He needs to be the same guy he's been
like they were last
with
week.
Half the workload.
They both had 100-yard games, which is great to see. Javonte, we talked about as someone you should buy rest of season because his production profile and his efficiencies and what he's been able to do on a 44% snap share is fantastic. But he's still under 50% snap share, so I'm going to roll out a guy who has probably closer to 70, and that'll be Dearness Johnson. So go for that, War.
Love it, War. Thanks for coming by. Let's get some more likes on here, guys. Let's at least get up to 30 real quick. Y'all can help us out. We have 14 people watching. All the new people. We got Stu in the chat. Thank you, Stuart. Michael, Tate, thanks for coming by, guys. Drop a quick like on the video. We very much appreciate it.
Orlando RG back against Start Gallup or OBJ. Gallup has a great matchup. Coming back, I'm just going to roll out OBJ for fun.
Hey, that's for fun, exactly. It'll be exciting to watch that game with Odell in a Rams uniform. So let's get it. Mac is stepping away. Let's keep on rolling. Richie, start Carter or Javonte Williams in a full PPR league. I will go with Javonte Williams there. Claire, my girl, what's going on, Claire? Thanks for coming by. You've been a loyal watcher for many, many weeks. And I will get to your question right now. 10-team full PPR, pick a flex. She's got Fournette, Henderson, DJ Moore, or Mike Williams. Currently rolling with Fournette, but want to hear your thoughts. So I think I would go with Darrell Henderson over Leonard Fournette. It's going to be very close. Both have good matchups. I think that Henderson, I think it's just too hard to bench Henderson for me over Leonard Fournette. Mac, I know you're back now. So she's currently, Claire's gut says Leonard Fournette, but I'm saying Darrell Henderson. What do you say?
Fournette's in a good spot. If he can continue his pass-catching work, then sky's the limit for him, especially today where there needs to be a workload sort of absorbed elsewhere. I still lean Darrell Henderson, though, over Fournette. It's close, but Darrell Henderson has just been a machine, and that Rams offensive line has been great. I expect a big bounce-back game from them as a team, a big response. So that's what I would do, Claire. I would roll out Henderson.
Yeah, you've got a great team there. Appreciate it. So Matt comes in with a super chat. Thank you, Matt, so much.
Matt.
You didn't need to give us the $4.99, but we will get to your question right now and give you some reasoning as to why that is. If y'all are watching, you want your questions answered immediately, you got to run out the door. Throw in a super chat. We'll go do it right now, or become a Snap Army member.
Right.
So, guys, I need help for my flex full PPR league. He's got Odell, McKissick, Gallup, Elijah Moore. Thank you, sir. So for me, I'm leaving Elijah Moore out. Even after that good game last week, I'm not considering Elijah Moore. He's probably a pickup off the waivers or even stashing him. Hold tight on Elijah before we can really see what happens with Mike White, the superstar at quarterback.
One thing to note about Elijah Moore, which is something just to keep in mind, Matt, his routes run last week was closer to 70%, which is what we've seen the trend for Elijah Moore. He was down a little bit, but now he's sort of come back, and he had that big receiving day, 8 targets, 7 receptions, 84 yards, and 2 touchdowns. A lot of it was in garbage time. But if Mike White continues to be the starter for this Jets team, I do like the outlook for Elijah Moore. Maybe not this week against Buffalo, though. That's my only hesitation this week.
And as far as between Gallup and Odell, I think it's really close. They're both coming back either to a new team or off injury. They're both very much question marks. And McKissick, it's a bad game. It's possibly a good game script versus Tampa Bay, but I don't love McKissick. So between me, it's Odell and Gallup. Like, I lean Odell by a little bit.
Yeah, and that's the thing. So if you are banking on Odell, you need him to win this matchup. I'm just going to go with what I know, and that's J.D. McKissick. In a really negative game script, we've seen him just be a guy that gets a ton of passing work, and it's a full PPR. So J.D. McKissick at times has been very, very solid. If you're in a close matchup and you have the luxury to wait until the Monday night game to make your decision to roll him out, go Odell Beckham Jr., but I think I would go with J.D. McKissick, then Michael Gallup, then Odell Beckham.
There we go. All right. Love it, Matt. Thank you. Good luck with your matchup this week. Let us know how that goes. You can join our Discord community, and we can talk about trades this year. We have trade deadlines coming up. If you want to be part of our private Discord, you can become a YouTube member, and then we will make sure we discuss, and we'll go a little bit more in-depth. Mac and I aren't always available for the general Discord, but we have lots of great fantasy minds in the general Discord to help you out, just for guaranteed stuff, for more personal interactions. If you're trying to DM us personally, the answer I'm going to give everyone is to join the private Discord and join the Snap Army.
We got this beautiful
community.
Dalvin Cook jersey signed, ready to give away from Pristine Auction. So we'll be giving that to a lucky member at the end of the season. Let's get back to the questions here. Double time, Lando, back and forth. Richie. Oh, did you get Richie's?
We got April.
Thoughts on
I
Tyler
Richie,
Johnson?
So
I think in a 12-team league, Tyler Johnson is attractive this week. I would roll him out. Several teams on bye with notable receivers. The Bengals, you've got Higgins, Boyd, Chase. You've got, with the Bears, Allen Robinson, Darnell Mooney, Brandon Cooks, Kenny Golladay. Not that you've been starting him, but Sterling Shepard. You've got a variety of receivers out on bye this week. So I think Tyler Johnson is a nice person to fill holes in your roster. I'm not actively looking to stash him like longer term. I think this is just a plug and play option, but in like a 12 to 14 team league, I'm absolutely taking a shot on him this week.
Yeah, I like it. Richie is asking, do I start Godwin or should I play Moore or Van Jefferson? So I assume that's Elijah Moore, Richie.
It could be Rondell Moore.
It could be Rondell. It could be DJ Moore. I would consider starting DJ Moore over Godwin.
Well, sure. Yeah.
Just in the fact that, Godwin could be limited. But otherwise, any of the other Moores, I'm starting Godwin over.
Yeah, the only one would be DJ. I have full confidence in Godwin this week. I am not scared by that questionable tag. He is good to go, and I'm rolling out Godwin everywhere I can. So I'm not shying away.
So Tammy's asking, do you ever go live and talk about trades? So we will go live more getting closer to trade deadline.
I think
Mac and I
think this week is actually a good week to potentially have like a midweek stream to do some trade talks. You guys come on in, you tell us who you have in your lineup, who you're trying to target, other managers' rosters, and we'll help you get it done. If you join the Discord, you can post, screenshots, and we can really sort of help you out a little bit better. But yeah, this week and next week might be a really good time to dial up sort of like a midweek trade talk live stream.
Absolutely.
Good question.
Yeah, love that.
Zach Foster. Team is in
Good morning,
critical condition after the Woods injury, not giving up yet, though. That is the attitude. Staring down Peoples-Jones, Tim Patrick, Elijah Moore, T.Y. Hilton, and Jamal Agnew. This is a full PPR league. Whew.
Boy.
Donovan Peoples-Jones is interesting.
Yeah, my eyes kind of go towards him as well. It's just he's a volatile player, but a massive ceiling.
I'm going to rate them in this order. It's going to be Tim Patrick, then T.Y. Hilton, Donovan Peoples-Jones, Elijah Moore, then Jamal Agnew. That's how I would rank them. Perfect. Tim Patrick has been very solid.
Yeah, he has been very solid. Absolutely. Despite our love for Cortland Sutton, he's been a thorn in his side.
Thank you for the subscription.
Yes, appreciate it. John Michael, Ingram, Zeke, or Dearness. My ranking goes Zeke, Dearness, and then Ingram last. So if you need to start two of them, it would be Zeke and Dearness, sir.
Jeff, fellas, as people begin to accept their pathetic fate in fantasy and league trade deadlines coming up, which running backs are you excited about weeks 15 through 17? Funny enough, we just dropped a podcast yesterday that details our power rankings for the top 10 players you need to have for a playoff push. We also did 2 weeks ago our favorite running backs to acquire at the trade deadline. So, Jeff, if you want to go back and listen to the podcast, you can get it on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, the Snap Fantasy Football Podcast. There's 2 episodes there for you to consume and dive into. So happy listening, my friend. I can give you 2 off the top of our head. David Montgomery and Javonte Williams are 2 that we talked about at length that we are thrilled about.
Yes, sir. Tate Fitzgibbons, what's going on? Nice to see you. Thanks for coming by this stream. Start 2 PPR League. Keenan Allen, Dearness Johnson, Deontay Johnson, and Michael Pittman.
Dang. Dang.
So Michael Pittman, I think, is got to be in there. And then it's between Keenan Allen and Dearness Johnson for me. In a full PPR league, I think I lean Keenan Allen.
Slightly. I would go, exactly what you said. Keenan Allen, Michael Pittman, lock them in. The guys are hot, and you got to stay with the hot hands. Even though Dearness is tempting, I don't think I could sit down Keenan or Michael Pittman to do so.
Yeah. Michael, what's going on, Michael? Thanks for coming by. I haven't seen your name yet, so make sure to hit that button. New subscriber.
Yes.
Oh, thanks. Thanks, my dude. Who sits between Lockett, Drake, and James Robinson? So I am sitting Kenyon Drake and starting Lockett and James Robinson, now with Russell back with Seattle.
That's absolutely the play. Stuart Rose, Wentz, or Wilson. Also have to pick out of McKissick, Gibson, and Alex Collins. Oh, boy. Okay. Well, if you go Wilson, then you could also stack with Collins if you wanted to have sort of the full.
Hopefully, it's a screen pass to Collins.
Snowy game, you get the shorter average depth of target. I get that. If you want to go with Wentz, though, I still don't mind Alex Collins. I do think he's probably where I go, but I would probably go Collins, McKissick, Gibson in that order, and then I would play Wilson over Wentz. So I think I'm kind of leaning the Wilson Collins stack there.
Yeah, sure, why not? I mean, people might think the opposite, that it's going to be a handoff to Collins at the goal line, but I think there's different ways to stack your players, and Collins is a competent pass catcher out of the backfield.
Austin saying that his team feels like it's in shambles after the Derrick Henry injury, and his team just doesn't trade. Lambeau is covered in snow. They could lean on their backs more. Interesting stat that's always stuck in my mind. Aaron Rodgers, when he has played in sub 20 Fahrenheit at Lambeau Field, is like 14-1. Like, he is just, you said, he is a snowman. Him and Derrick Henry are snowmen, and they get it done in the snow. Very, very efficient. So no cause for concern for Aaron Rodgers, at least.
Griff, welcome to the stream. Snap Army member. We appreciate you. Thanks for coming by. He's got Mike Davis or a Bolden in a PPR league. You can leave. You can turn around and leave the stream right now, because that's a ugly question.
Now, hold on. This is League 83 for Griff, so we got to go deep. I would go Brandon Bolden.
Sure. Yeah.
It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy.
Yep.
I just...
Thanks, Austin Grant, for coming by. No, and Jonathan and Jay, I see you guys in here. We will get your questions. Hit the like button. Let's get up to 40 likes real quick. Only 7 more likes to get there. I know we can do it. 23 people watching. Yep. We'll get to every single question in the stream.
Griff saying late to the stream, but glad to be here with setting the owner's box lineups. One of our partners. It's basically like DraftKings, but it's Superflex, DFS. And I've got some spicy lineups going. I've got Colt McCoy in there. I've got Dearness Johnson and Mark Ingram. I'm taking flyers at the running back position and bulking up on wide receiver, and I've rolled out Chris Godwin in a couple too, because I think his ownership is going to be quite low with the concerns. So I'm playing some game theory this week, Lando, which I know that you'd probably get super excited about.
Proud of you, sir. I'm not going to tell you how excited, because we're live right now.
Jonathan, Alex Collins or Zach Moss in a full PPR?
Alex Collins with quite a bit of confidence, sir.
Agreed. Vivek, James Conner, Devonta Smith, or Mike Will at the flex in a full PPR. I'm going James Conner, man. What do you think about that?
First James Conner question. Yeah, I love it. Full PPR is closer to Devonta Smith for me, but I think James Conner, you have to roll him out. He's got the backfield to himself. He's not going to have a 40-point game again, but how could you sit a guy after that performance last week?
Exactly. James Conner, 77% snap share last week, 67% route share. James Conner's being used all over the field, and with Chase Edmonds down, he's going to get a full workload once again. So,
yeah. Let me know how many people picked up Eno Benjamin in their leagues. Let me know in the comments who's flexing Eno Benjamin.
I'm not playing, but I just had to. Noah V, Eli Mitchell or Josh Jacobs in a full PPR. This one is tough. This one's very tough for me, Noah. And thank you for the subscription. Appreciate it. Eli Mitchell, been really, really solid.
Plays
the Rams. Not a great matchup. And then you got Josh Jacobs, who his workload's being eaten week by week by Kenyon Drake. So where do you lean there? Josh Jacobs against the Kansas City Chiefs.
I have Josh Jacobs a couple spots higher.
I do as well.
It's very close. They're fringe running back. Like, they're just outside of the running back one rankings for me this week. So I think I just lean Josh Jacobs in a better matchup.
Agreed. I do agree with that. Where are we at? Matt. Okay, Chris Godwin or Terry McLaurin?
I will go Terry McLaurin.
That one's close. No, I'm going Chris Godwin.
So Matt is projected to win by 20 and still asks us and still gives us a super chat. So Matt, we appreciate you for coming by. You're a true supporter of the show. We very much appreciate you, my dude.
Matt saying, "Oh man, I want that Dalvin jersey."
Hey.
Well, you can get it.
Plenty of room.
Plenty of room. Ryan Temps, Rye, my boy. Mac, you beat us fair and square last week. Good job. Appreciate you. I appreciate you, Rye. It's fun when we get to talk a little bit of smack. We get to have a little bit of fun. And you knew that if I came back to somehow get a win, I was going to let you know. But I love it. That's why we play. Michael Gallup or Adrian Peterson in the flex this week. This is a tough question, because you got Adrian Peterson, who looked like he got the lion's share of the work last week. However, you've got Jeremy McNichols, you got Deontay Foreman, who they signed on either side of him, potentially eating into the snap share. So what's your confidence on AP? Let's start there. And then would you start him over Michael Gallup?
My confidence isn't that high with Adrian Peterson. He's going to get the workload. He fell into the end zone last week. That saved his fantasy performance. I know they're going to try to run. They're going to try to use him. I don't know how many weeks AP still has the juice in him.
He didn't look good, man. He really didn't look good.
In a half PPR, I think I just lean the upside of Michael Gallup, especially Rye. If you're projected to lose in the matchup, I think Michael Gallup, coming back off that injury, we know that Dak likes him. It's going to be one of those games you don't want to watch. I don't think you're going to, because Michael Gallup's going to have to take a couple long passes to the house, which obviously can happen against Atlanta. So I think I just lean Gallup and hope he three for 60 and a touchdown.
Well, here's the thing, though.
Gallup.
Michael Gallup has the far superior offense, and is, he's coming back. He's healthy. He's ready to go. I lean Gallup. Absolutely. Yeah. What I saw from Adrian Peterson last week, not encouraging whatsoever.
Yeah.
Delta Blade 21 for the flex in a 16-team standard league. A lot going on there. Stick with Van Jefferson over Tim Patrick. Already have Cooper Kupp starting. Man, that is tough. I mean, obviously Robert Woods going down does help your Van Jefferson stock. Is it enough to go over Tim Patrick? That really is the question.
I mean, because he's got Cooper Kupp starting, his record's probably pretty good. I think I just lean Tim Patrick, and you're hoping that all 4 touchdowns go to Cooper Kupp and Van Jefferson is left behind.
I'm not so much worried about the exposure to too many Rams, because if there is one argument that if Odell Beckham Jr. for whatever reason doesn't play or isn't as involved as we think, Van Jefferson's likely the person to be more involved. But Tim Patrick's been very, very efficient, very, very reliable. I kind of want to go Tim Patrick here.
Yep, there you go. So regardless of how we got there, I think Tim Patrick may be the answer.
Yeah. Jonathan, I'm scared about Alex Collins. Do I start Zach Moss over him in a full PPR? I would not.
Why are people scared of Alex Collins? I think he's going to be just fine. He got a week off. Yep. They're playing in a snow game, so it potentially, like our other listeners have said, that it could lead to more rushing potential. Alex Collins has had some good games this season with Chris Carson out. So yeah, let's roll Alex Collins, and running backs don't matter.
Agreed. Yeah, we've seen that this year. Let's see. JT Kirk Collins? Oh, Kirk.
Yeah.
Okay, Christian Kirk. Alex Collins or Ramondre Stevenson. All right, sorry, Jay. You threw me in a blender there. Christian Kirk would be the play for me.
I think Christian Kirk's in a good spot. Now, it does matter if you're in a full PPR league. It's more affirmative Christian Kirk, and then in like a standard half PPR, I might lean Alex Collins. I like Alex. I don't know why I like Collins this week. I just do.
John, Judy, or Tyler Johnson. I'm going Jerry Judy with full confidence on that one.
Jerry Judy. No V's got Carr and Russell Wilson. So Wilson coming off this injury. Carr in a plus matchup against one of the most susceptible defenses in the league.
Worst,
they typically
the
play.
Absolute worst.
Yeah. They play the Chiefs pretty well every single year. I feel like it's a little bit of a trap game, but we'll see.
I would go Derek Carr on that one. They're close in our rankings. However, you want to get away from the snow game. You want to get away from Russell Wilson just making his return. I'm fine if you go Derek Carr, who projects to be a QB1 this week. So I would go Carr.
All right, guys, we're 36 likes. Let's get to 40. Hit that like button if you're coming in. We have 20 people watching right now, according to my list. And let's get those likes up to 40. Austin Grant, Friarmuth, Gage, Collins, or Sanders at the flex. For me, it's between Sanders and Alex Collins. Mac, where do you lean?
Yeah, I would go Alex Collins and Miles Sanders. Yeah, over Friarmuth and Gage, absolutely.
Emmanuel Sanders, yeah.
Is it Emmanuel?
Yep.
Did I read that wrong? Where does it say?
No, just
where does it say?
Miles Sanders is not playing.
Oh, that's right. Duh.
Yeah.
I would go Collins then. Collins is my play.
Over Emmanuel Sanders. Sounds good.
What's up, guys?
We got Griffin talking.
Kicked
What's
my
up,
game.
Griff?
What's up, guys? Happy
game.
Sunday. I have a 2-part question. Jerry, Judy, or Devonta Smith? Number 1.
I just want to leave this up to you, Mac. This is a good question.
Okay, well,
they're back to back in my ranks, by the way.
Yes, they're very, very close. Look, the Denver defense has been solid this year, and we did see a big game from Devonta Smith last week. He finally got the targets and the opportunity share that he is deserving of. But I'm going to go Jerry Judy here. The Denver defense is legit.
Yeah, no, I think I like that play. I have Judy one spot ahead, so that's where I would lean as well, but very, very close. Now, would be starting Jordan Howard or even
James Robinson.
Devonta Smith over banged up James Robinson. Crazy thinking, yeah.
I would go James Robinson.
Yeah, I would just start James Robinson if he's healthy. Yeah. I think if he's there, he gets the workload. Hopefully Carlos Hyde does not. I know it's going to be a painful. Just don't watch the game. Kicks my game. Just don't even watch that terrible game.
1,650 subs. Thank you so much to everyone who has recently subscribed and has continued to support the channel. Gavin Mertez, thank you so much for the subscription. Appreciate it. Let's get to a couple other names in green, our members. Who has a bigger day, Najee or Dalvin Cook? I'm going Najee Harris. I think he might be the number 1 on the week.
Oh, I'm going Dalvin with the bigger game. No question in my mind.
On, Give your head a shake, man.
No way.
Are you serious?
I know it's against Detroit. I understand. I think Dalvin is
Najee against the Lions.
Let's bet. I'll bet on that
what
one
do you
right
want?
Now. Half PPR fantasy points.
What do you want?
Dalvin outscores.
What do you want?
Next stream. I don't know. Something funny.
All right, you have to. Next stream, whoever loses has to put a sign on their head, and the other person gets to say what it is. It's got to be taped.
Sure,
right
sounds
here.
good.
Deal.
Okay.
Love that. Let us know in the comments what you want the sign to say between Landon and I. I'm taking Najee. He's taking Dalvin. Maybe Dalvin gets pulled off the field mid-game for his alleged.
Yeah, right.
Nick Thomas, Singletary or Gage?
I'll go Russell Gage.
Yeah, it's gross. It's absolutely gross. Noah V, you guys are awesome. Thank you for the advice. Got a subscription here. See you the remainder of the season. Absolutely no. We are here every single Sunday, 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time till kickoff. We'll get you right the best that we can. Griff, Jefferson, or Swift in a standard projected to win. I'm going Deandre Swift.
Oh, I'm going Jefferson.
Come on, dog. I know you're a Minnesota Vikings truther. Your fandom runs deep. You got to separate yourself from that, though. You got to see the love for Deandre Swift. You're probably the least biased person I know in terms of fandom, to be honest.
In terms of the Vikings can lose every game. I could care less. DeAndre Swift versus Pittsburgh, I think, is just too hard a matchup for me. My confidence level in Swift ain't high this week. As much as I love the kid, I love DeAndre Swift. I just think Jefferson has a good game.
Austin saying, wrong answer, Landon. I've got Najee going against my opponent. He has Cook. He's on Team Najee. Therefore, on Team Mac.
RIP for your team. You're getting rinsed this week. Okay, D Hurt Locker. Sup, fellas? What's up, my dude? You come by every week. Appreciate you. Who should I play? Full PPR. He's got Taylor as RB1, so the other ones don't matter.
Correct.
The other ones don't matter.
That is absolutely correct.
You got JTT.
JTT.
RB2.
Gibson, McKissick, or Javonte?
I'm going Javonte.
I echo that sentiment. Yes, sir. John Fenton, Lost Woods. Who should I grab out of Kirk, Gage, or Elijah Moore? And should I have Gibson or Stevenson at the flex? Grab Christian Kirk and put in Ramondre Stevenson at your flex.
Bang, bang.
God, it feels so bad to say don't start Antonio Gibson, but the injury, the matchup, everything just points to hands off.
And you know what? It's one of those things that if he's on your bench and has a good game, sees the production, sees some targets, then you feel so much better starting him rest of season. Like you don't like it's fine if he has a good game on your bench. Honestly, guys, like I know we're sitting like I just want to see it first. I want to see him get that workload back. It's more of that than anything. So hopefully you don't lose because of Gibson on your bench, but like I think you have a better chance of winning with him on your bench, unfortunately.
No, I absolutely agree. Alex Smith, thanks for being here for the Army this week again, boys. Good luck on your matchups this weekend. You as well, sir. 2 questions, Jimmy G or Baker Mayfield, and then Antonio Gibson or Landry in the flex today. Thanks to the Army. Jimmy G or Baker?
Jimmy G or...
Let's start there.
Or Baker. Oh. Could we forget that he asked that question?
I'm hiding.
I think it's Baker.
I think it's Baker against the New England Patriots. I don't know if I want to go Jimmy against the Rams.
Yeah.
Divisional matchup. I know things can get crazy and anything can happen, but I'm gonna go with Baker there. Antonio Gibson.
The weather doesn't seem to be the best. The best thing about Garoppolo is they play in a warmer climate versus at New England, but I'm not too concerned.
Yeah.
But kids, keep going. Gibson or Landry in the flex. Yeah, go Landry.
Yeah, I mean, just stack them up. Might as well.
Stack them up. Yeah, there you go.
Ooh, Gator, would you be willing to trade for a 1-week rental at quarterback? Funny enough, I just did this in a Superflex Dynasty League. I traded away Khalil Herbert and got PJ Walker and a third. Not a sexy trade, but it was, do I flex out Marquez Callaway or do I take a shot on PJ Walker? And I'm just going to take a shot on PJ Walker, and I did so. So yeah, if you're in a hole and you need to make a trade for a 1-week rental, try to make it for something small, so you don't have to pay a big price tag for it. But like we talked about on the podcast, buying a win can be so important. And what would you pay for a win?
Yeah, that makes a big difference. We talked about this on the podcast that you could, if you lose the trade on paper, it doesn't matter if you win your matchup because you can always make more trades throughout the season. And trading out of desperation, sometimes you just need to do that. I try to do that. If I can take advantage of my league mates and trade out of desperation, I absolutely will do that. But it also makes sense for the guy that's receiving that offer. You bought someone high, you bought someone low, whatever it is. Even you see dynasty trades happen all the time that looks like an absolute landslide on one direction, but once you wait half a year, it's the opposite. Like imagine getting Eli Mitchell in the preseason and how good it looks now. Like it just crazy things happen in fantasy football, guys.
Landon's headband, Vikings truther. I like that. I like that a lot. That's gonna be a good one. Can't wait till Najee just goes bananas this week.
Did Ryan ask another question here?
I don't think so.
I don't see your other question there, Ryan. But we went Michael Gallup over AP. If you missed that, that one, we actually went in depth on that one. Hopefully you weren't there. Hopefully you were there. I mean,
Austin saying he wants to join a dynasty league. He's over redraft. I think a majority of my leagues now are dynasty, and I love football way too much to just play it for the season. I love all season round. I love the rookies coming in. Having drafts in May and June. It helps keep things fun and intriguing, and it's a different style of play. So absolutely. Congrats on 1650, guys. Ascension is imminent. We hope so. But we're just gonna keep our nose down and keep grinding. Gator fan thoughts on Hunter Henry this week with Jonnu out.
The same. Jonnu was blocking anyway, so maybe that's less. That's not good for Mac Jones. But I still think
Hunter Henry remains to be just a touchdown dependent play. The volume certainly isn't there, but the red zone usage is. That's kind of where it is, and he's just one of those tight ends that you need a touchdown out of to be relevant. Mitchell or Beasley in the flex from Xavier. Also have Corey Davis lingering on the bench. Good morning, by the way. I guess good afternoon. in my part of the world. Wherever you are, it might be morning.
Yep.
So good day to you, Xavier. Mitchell or Beasley is a really intriguing, and I would play them both over Corey Davis for the record. So Beasley is attractive in a full PPR league because of his volume. Mitchell has been a solid running back option. Where do you lean this week?
Yeah, I think I lean Mitchell in this scenario. In a full PPR league, it's a lot closer, but Eli Mitchell is solid. He's a fringe running back one for me this week. I think Mitchell has a chance to be running back one rest of season with a good schedule, the backfield to himself. Trey Sermon's a bum.
I can we just clip that soundbite right there? Trey Sermon is a bum. I just want to save that and just have it to play. Yeah, no, I'm with you. And I've told some people to play Cole Beasley this week, just over some other options. But yeah, Eli Mitchell is could be a top 12 option at running back. So I'm with you on that one. Gator fan bench: Claypool, CEH, Carson, Higgins, Tony, and Ridley on IR. That is rough, my dude. Rough.
Yeah, I was gonna say which one do we bench? They're all out.
Redraft is just pure luck and whoever can avoid injuries. I mean, it certainly has a lot to do with that. It's more survival, but there are things that you can do. You can be proactive and trade guys high and buy low, and you really work the waiver wire. But there is an element of luck, unfortunately, where you get to play for the future. There's a little bit more strategy that goes along with it.
No question. Dribble God, we will get your question. I saw you ask that twice, my dude. We're pretty much at the top of the list here, so we definitely get to your question very, very shortly.
Away. That's okay. James Robinson or Mark Ingram at the flex. I would roll out James Robinson.
I would agree with that. Yeah, I don't expect James Robinson to be limited. If he's active, he should be good to go. I don't think Carlos Hyde's going to eat into his workload that much. Robinson, when getting the workload, has been good.
Xavier saying Sermon is a bum. Thanks for the input, fellas. I'm on Pacific time. Are you in California by chance? Because I just, if you're in the San Francisco, the Bay Area, you definitely know Trey Sermon is a bum. But good morning to you, Xavier. I'm so jealous of West Coast life. How you just get to wake up, have breakfast, and turn on football at 10.
Yeah,
man, and watch the night game and not go to bed at midnight. It's fantastic. What a life. What a way to live.
I know.
Unbelievable.
Let's go out there, Mac.
Yeah.
Move the show to the West Coast.
Wouldn't that be amazing? What about Hunter Henry versus Friarmuth this week? I would roll Hunter Henry just to the uncertainties at quarterback. It's quarterback and backup running back for the Pittsburgh Steelers are not attractive. It's Big Ben and Najee or it's bust at the position. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Yes, sir. LA. Nice. What part of LA, Xavier? Just out of curiosity. Van Jeff or Deontay Johnson in a full PPR need a safe 15 points. With these two options, I don't think there's safety that goes in there this week. However, Deontay Johnson, I think, is the better play. So I'm going to go Deontay there.
Still with Deontay Johnson. We talked about him at the top of the show. When you have a stud like Deontay and a very volatile player like Van Jefferson, you just have to go with the stud. Close your eyes. Don't watch the game. I've recommended people to do that all day long. Go out and enjoy the outdoors. Don't even check your fantasy lineups until it's done. Go for a walk with the wife and kids. That's where to go.
Yeah, no, I get it. He's saying New Orleans, like with Mark Ingram, it's just he might go off. Given that Alvin Kamara is out, it's tough to decide between him and James Robinson. Yeah. Look, Tennessee's defense came to play last week, and they might bring the same sort of pressure this week, especially with Trevor Siemian in the lineup. I know Taysom Hill, I believe, is active. Is that correct?
Taysom Hill, I'm not too sure. I think he's active. I don't think he's starting.
Either way, without Alvin Kamara, there might be a lot of volume, but there might not be a lot of production. That offense, I don't have a whole lot of confidence in for them to move the sticks without Alvin Kamara. He's the motor to the offense, and without him, it can be quite gross.
At the end of the day, Dribble, it's very difficult to project a backup running back coming into full workload. If you just have a really good feeling about Mark Ingram and you have a bad feeling about James Robinson, they're close enough in projections this week that you could totally, if you just want, like, if all you want is confirmation that Ingram isn't complete garbage, no, he's fine. Like, he'll be a fine play if your gut leans that way. So it's coming back off injury. There's still question marks about James Robinson. We're projecting him to be a full workload, but of course there's variables in there where you could lean Mark Ingram.
A good reminder from producer Scotty in the background. Let's get this up to 50 likes. We got 20 of you in here, currently at 43. Let's see if we can grab another 6 or 7 likes, get it up there. Xavier, North Hollywood, not too far from Warner Bros. Universal Studios. Very cool. Awesome.
Yeah.
Love LA. Santa Monica Pier.
Let's go visit Xavier, do a live stream from North LA.
Well, and we could hook up with the Whisperers while we're out there as well.
Hey, sure.
Yeah, we went to when we stopped in LA, we stayed in a couple spots. I want to say one was down by one of the beaches. El Segundo, I think, is where we stayed. It was down by, I think, not Hollywood Beach. Can't remember. El Segundo, I think, is where we stayed. But we toured around. It was a lot of fun. Love LA.
I would love to do a West Coast road trip like you did down Highway 1. Yeah. Go to Napa Valley, San Francisco. Go see the big redwoods. I love that.
Claire's from San Diego. West Coast, Best Coast. Claire, when we were in San Diego, we went to the Gaslamp District, and boy, was that place a lot of fun. Also, amazing vibes in San Diego. Really, really cool. Loved it down there. Yeah.
I wish the Chargers were still in San Diego. Agreed. I don't know what Claire feels about that, but I like them better there. I mean, LA is LA, and they go from 0 NFL teams to 2, and it just feels like San Diego is where their true fans are.
Thundarius in Austin. I'm from a cornfield in Iowa. It sucks here. And Austin, I'm from the wonderful city of Cleveland, Ohio. Maybe not the same. Maybe not the same glamour. Yeah, it is what it is.
Cost of living, those guys are ahead.
Yeah.
But, that's about it.
True. Absolutely. Let's get back here. Bruce, Javonte Williams, or Devin Singletary in a full PPR.
Boss man, you mean?
Boss man. That's not. Yeah, you're right. It's not Bruce. It's Boss. Javonte Williams for me.
Javonte.
Did we play in fantasy when LaDainian Tomlinson and Ricky Williams were a thing? Heck yeah. Heck yeah, we did. I remember.
I wasn't really for Ricky Williams, but I know that
LT was a cheat code for the record.
LT was a cheat code. Absolutely. God. He was Christian McCaffrey before Christian McCaffrey was even a twinkle in the eye.
You guys experienced the complete takeover that was Todd Gurley from 2017 to 2018.
Yeah.
LT did that year over year it was ridiculous.
Yeah.
So absolutely. So Ricky Williams, I remember getting not traded, but he was cut and then signed by the Toronto Argonauts, and I went to go see him play. And I was like, this guy, really?
This guy, he a little slower. He put on those
not the same.
LBs. He didn't have
not the same
explosiveness.
Not the same. Malachi, thank you for the subscription. Boss man again. Cortland Sutton or Van Jefferson?
Cortland's been bad, man. Cortland's
2 targets last week. I mean, Teddy, you just got to be better.
So if you want to just chase the better offense, just go Van Jefferson. It'll be a better game, more opportunities. Cortland, I probably have ranked higher, boss man, but it's like at this point, it doesn't matter. Cortland's kind of, you can't trust him right now.
Gator missed our response to Tyler Johnson, but thoughts on him this week. Just to sort of paraphrase really quickly, 12 to 14 team leagues, I'm all over Tyler Johnson just to plug in as a spot start. Not really looking for anything long term, but I would pop him in if I have somebody notable like Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd on by. I would plug him in there, absolutely.
Sounds
Zach
good.
Foster went to put Patrick in. He's questionable with a knee injury. He plays in the late window. If he doesn't play, I'd be shooting waiver wire guys. So would you take your chances on Patrick or roll with Donovan Peoples-Jones or T.Y. with that in mind? Yeah, I think if it puts you on an island, you maybe go elsewhere.
Then you lean Donovan Peoples then.
Yeah, I think so. Yep.
Cool.
Mason.
We got
Mason, James
yes.
Conner, Darrell Henderson, or Chris Godwin. Pick 2. That's a solid list, my guy. I would
Mason
personally go Henderson and Godwin.
Henderson and Godwin. So if you want to hedge against a possible injury and Godwin being limited, Mac is expecting a full workload, which I would love for that to happen. And he presents a higher upside than pretty much anyone with Tom Brady at the helm. For a safe play, floor play, it's going to be Connor and Henderson.
Claire saying Gaslamp is fun. Also wish the Chargers were back in San Diego. I have a massive grudge against Spanos. I would too. That's trash that they got moved. San Diego is just such a unbelievable place. And Alex says you need to be a better golfer for that trip, Lando, down the California coast. Too many notable courses along the way that you just couldn't handle. You got to stick to Chapels for now with him.
Chirping my golf game, Alex.
You
are a bold man.
What's Smith's game look like? I need to know.
He's on the struggle bus. He's got his driver's a spinny 185 yards down the center, but it ain't pretty.
Wow. Now does he have 1 or 2 drivers?
Yeah, he's got an old snake eyes that he brings out when he's struggling.
Yikes. Eric, hey guys, in my PPR, should I flex Knox, McKissick, or Moss? I've been chasing Moss's good games and missing. I would honestly go with J.D. McKissick in a full PPR, expecting a negative game script, and he's been, the pretty much exclusive pass catcher there. So I would go J.D. McKissick. You might go Dawson Knox because he's your boy, but I would go McKissick.
Well, the biggest thing I have in common with Josh Allen is that we both have Dawson Knox on our fantasy teams. So, and we're both tall and good looking. But besides that, yeah, I do agree that McKissick is the better play. Running backs are always a better play to the volatile tight end position, just as a rule of thumb.
Malachi, thank you for the subscription. Russell Wilson or Justin Herbert?
Oh, you got to go Herb, Daddy, with that one.
It's J-Herb all day. Going up against the Vikings, please sign me up for that. Gator fan,
yes,
who,
sir.
if any, on my bench would you flip for that 1 week rental, or would you would you want that rental to be McCoy, Mike White, or Rudolph? I've tried to get Taylor Heineke, but the owner isn't responding. Mike White looks to be that sort of potential 1 week rental that has longer rest of season upside. He's been much better than Zach Wilson, and maybe they roll Mike White. Who knows? But I would go with Mike White as my primary target there.
As expected, Kyler and Hopkins are ruled out today.
Who were the top 3 backs to draft in that era? Ooh, man. Jamal Charles was up there. LaShawn McCoy was up there. LT. Adrian Peterson.
Oh, AP
was
AP was a cheat code too,
man.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Fantasy was a lot of fun. I feel like a lot more predictable back then.
A lot of established the run.
Yes, absolutely. And Scotty brings up a good point. Mike Vick was also a cheat code back in the early 2000s. Ridiculous.
I remember in a league, I picked him up when he signed with the Eagles. And when he got the chance to play, he was putting up 50 plus points. Ooh. And I think probably won me a championship back in the day.
Xavier saying last one, have Carr on the bench, but I'm not sure about Kyler, who's my starter.
Yep.
He said, never mind, just answered my question.
Yes.
So there we go. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Thundarius, I had a Vic rookie card. Thought he was going to be big. He was at Chiefs camp, Mahomes rookie season, and I saw him in person. Then met Travis Kelce at Chipotle afterwards. What a day! It's amazing. What a day. Singletary or Darrell Williams?
I'll go Darrell Williams.
I will as
Lucius.
Well. Myers or Alex Collins or Cole Beasley flex in a half PPR league. I go Beasley, Collins, and then Myers in that order.
Cool. I go Collins, Beasley, Myers. I think I have a good feeling Myers gets in the end zone this week. Sorry if that hurts your chances, but
Austin, is there any chance you guys would make a fantasy dynasty draft guide? It's a good idea.
You know what? It's not a bad idea. unfortunately, I don't think we have the listenership to purchase a draft guide yet.
I mean,
now if we keep,
I'm all for giving stuff away for free. I mean, at a certain point, we have to ask for likes or subscriptions. Even anybody that wants to support the show, absolutely. But we don't really put much behind a paywall, and I think if we were going to do that, Austin, it would be something that we would release to like our members, or we'd put out there for free. But we don't really run like a website or anything. We put all of our rankings and all of our content onto either YouTube in video form or to you guys in the Discord. So I just don't know where we would put it, but if that's something that you guys are interested in, we could absolutely make it into a video series or even just make a quick little guide.
Yeah, I mean, I think over the off season we'll be taking a little bit of a break, but we could definitely put in do some segments, some videos, kind of evergreen content of just general dynasty strategy. That's something we could do in the off season.
Yeah, absolutely. He said I would purchase it personally. Honestly, you being a member is totally enough, for us. So maybe that's something we revisit in the off season and we can get to you. So we'll think about that one, Austin. But yeah, there's so much to Dynasty, what type of league you're playing, how you draft, etc. So there's tons of strategy there. Landry or Bolden in a standard league from Lucius. I would roll Landry over Bolden this week.
Yep, me too.
Malachi, do we think that Dearness Johnson will have an explosive game like he did against the Denver defense? I think it is certainly possible.
Yeah, for sure. I think there's a good chance.
Yeah. Griff saying back to Alex's ball flight, at least down the middle is better than straight right like me.
I've seen Griffin's golf swing, and you and Alex would have a good match.
Ooh, I like that. Cool, guys. Thanks for the breakdown as always. I know it was an ugly set of questions. Hopefully can make it through this week and look to cash out on Kelsey for a wide receiver overhaul. Good luck, Zach. Thanks so much for your questions. We got to smack the little ball around the green field soon. I would love that. I'd love to do a meetup as soon as those borders open and we can go for a trip. I think we have tons of people to visit and meet, which would be a lot of fun.
Yeah, totally.
Oh, Terrell Davis is another good one. Remember Terrell Davis?
Oh yeah, I do for sure.
He ruined my first year of football. My first year of football fandom. I knew my uncle was a big Green Bay Packers fan. I just got into football, and I remember watching the Super Bowl between the Broncos and the Packers, and it was John Elway and Terrell Davis that just ran train on the Packers, and I walked away from that game going, man, I feel bad for Green Bay, and that's when I was like, I'm going to be a Packers fan, and I picked the losers. Lando.
I like that.
Terrell Davis was a
fan has
problem.
Been good to you.
Terrell Davis
I just Googled him. That guy he's a big boy.
Yeah, man. I think it was like the 97, 98 Super Bowl. I think that's, if my memory serves me correct, I was like 8 or 9 years old. Crazy. Alex, sorry I didn't hear if you responded Myers or Collins for the flex. It was Collins, Alex.
Yeah. And I'll go Tampa defense there, Malachi.
There is no offseason in Dynasty Fantasy Football. Landon every year. He's right.
It's true.
He's right.
Yeah, that's the
point. If you don't want to talk football in April, don't play Dynasty Football. Because I'm looking to make deals 365.
Ryan's into Dynasty now because he joined a Superflex league and he's been in my DMs every single week. And Ryan, don't worry, I'll send you the bill at the end of the season, depending on how much you keep messaging me about your Dynasty teams.
I love having Ryan here. Absolutely. Well, and you know what? I have faith. You guys will turn that team around.
Oof, that's gonna take more than.
I'm gonna get it.
You might need 2 other co-owners to maybe make that happen.
You're gonna put a whooping on me this week. I've got 0 chance. I've got Burrow, Higgins, Mixon, and Chase as a part of my core, and this week is not a good one for me. So it is what it is. 49 likes. Can we get to 50 out of the 20 people that are still in here? Can we get that like to get to 50, as well as anybody else willing to subscribe to the channel? Would really, really appreciate it. But I think that's going to do it for Landon and I, unless any last minute questions come in. But good luck this week. keep your eyes out for a midweek stream. We're going to maybe try to put something together to just talk about trades, maybe targets that you should go through and help you out just with trades. I know trades on a start sit Sunday is really, really tough to do. But if we can sit down on like a Wednesday night and come up with something, then we can do it. So
yeah,
hit that bell.
Let us know if you guys want like long form content, short form content. We can do stuff. Once trade deadline passes, we'll be putting out new stuff.
Yeah. Austin,
this season.
Fantasy hockey is a prison. I used to love fantasy hockey, and I just don't have football is 100% of my focus, and hockey and football just have that couple, month overlap, and I just can't keep up with the daily waivers and
yeah.
It's just, and I just don't watch hockey as much as I used to. I play it still, but it was a huge part of, if you're Canadian, hockey's a big part of your life, but it's just too much. Same with baseball. I think baseball is even worse. Fantasy baseball is so hard.
I don't think I can do it. All right, guys. Thanks so much. Good luck, everyone, and we will see you next week.
Absolutely. Keep an eye out for that midweek stream. Hit that bell, and you'll make sure to be notified if we go live.